I don't know how much there is to say about the AL Central. The Tigers are going to win this division. I don't buy any of the other clubs in the division as real contenders.
I think they're the number one Eugenio Suarez fit.
The Tigers.
Yes.
I Sure. I'm with
He's
you.
openly talked about how it would mean a lot to like have that reunion, and like the Tigers like have a pretty clear need for like another thumper in the lineup, and like,
Yeah.
you know, not that you don't need defense when their pitching staff is on the mound, but like it matters less.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think that they're one of the two teams that I have that make the most amount of sense.
Yeah. I agree.
So I think that they do that. I don't know what the Royals do. Um,
I think you. I think you trim. Honestly, I don't think.
they got to
I
trade
mean,
Seth Lugo, right? You got to
you
trade
have to
Lugo.
trade Lugo because the
I
thing
think
is, and this is people have been talking about whether the Cubs should get Lugo, and he has a $15 million player option for 2026, right? And so
he's
if
not
this
getting
isn't if this is an older pitcher who you acquire and he gets hurt, he
right.
might.
Like you're, I don't know. Part of me thinks, can you get a QO offer extended to you if you decline a player option?
I don't know. Has he never gotten a QO before?
He's never accepted one. You can get as many as you want. I think as long as you don't say yes.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how it works. Is once you say yes, you can never have one offered to you again.
I see.
So I don't know if I'm him, because I hear you, but like the question you need to ask yourself is, if you're Seth Lugo and his agent, do you think you can make more than $15 million for the remainder of your professional career? And I think if he's healthy the rest of the year, the answer is an obvious yes.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
if it's 2 years and 30 million, like, you know what I mean? Even if it's a
Yeah,
deal like that, I
yeah,
still think that he's going to ask for that. Or like maybe he would say with the team, like, hey, if I accept my player option, I want to rework it where like you put another 1 for 15 on this.
yeah,
So I don't know. I don't hate you guys going and getting Lugo, but if I were y'all, I would not be in the business of acquiring a pitcher that is owed money next year.
right.
Especially because, I mean, you've got some guys that are already on that. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are picking up that Imanaga deal because, oh my
Yeah,
God, the value on that is crazy. But also, Steele only got like a brace. So, like, he's back by like Memorial Day.
yeah,
So, like, there's the other thing, too. Like, you're already going to have two frontline guys. I don't know. Like, I'd rather have the flexibility of being able to, like, also, you know, you guys are presently, quick math, you guys are $26 million off the luxury tax
that
threshold.
sounds about right.
I believe so. You're about 26 if I have the number in my head correct of what the threshold is for this year.
Hmm.
I think if you are planning on being serious about extending Tucker, which I would assume they are, then I would want as much money off the books as possible, because if you're the GM and you're told you have $50 million to spend, like, I'd rather hear that than like, oh, you only have 30.
Yeah,
Because then that becomes Kyle Tucker and you going, and we're just going to pull up from the minor, like
yeah,
Ben Brown, welcome back. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
and I don't know. If I'm the GM, I think you got to be playing that game, like, which is ridiculous. You guys should be comfortable at least hitting that first apron. And that's an NBA term, but hitting that first threshold should not be an
Yeah,
issue for the Cubs. But if
no,
ownership is going to stick to that, then like I'd rather have as many bullets as possible to keep
yeah,
Tucker, where it's not the only move. And I get that as a Cubs fan, a more casual Cubs fan. If all the Cubs did in the offseason was extend Tucker, it'd be like, all right, well, job done.
yeah,
But
totally.
logistically, you have to be thinking like, we probably need to make sure that we also reinvest in other areas.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Royals. I don't know. I think they shed Lugo, and then I mean, you.
Michael Walker
I
should go somewhere. Like, take some calls, man.
Yes, right. I don't buy the idea that you're going to do some sort of combination deadline that involves getting rid of Lugo and come out of it a real threat to make the postseason. I don't see that. Like, I think you have to commit one way or the other. And
Would you be able to? I'm trying to think. Is there a scenario in which, like, is there a world in which the Padres, because they need to be able to flip money like pretty often because they thread that needle on
yeah,
purpose.
yeah,
Is there a way where it's like you go get Pavetta and you do what the Royals have been doing, which is like the guy that's on the criminally undervalued contract? You know what I mean? Like that kind of. Is there a way for them to flip something like that? I don't know what the answer to that is, but
yeah. And I
maybe
mean,
that's the solution.
historically, the Royals and the Padres are frequent trade partners.
That's
So
what I mean. Like maybe that's the ticket is like you give them, because they had Walker first. So like they like
yeah,
him. And like
yeah,
Lugo, like I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe there's a world in which the Padres go, we can save money we can stay as competitive and have that money for next year. And it gives the
yeah,
Royals a little bit more flexibility of like, we'll go get a guy that, is at least a little bit younger and maybe extends helps our window in a couple of years more than keeping Lugo and Walker would do.
right. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's tough because I don't totally know what's on the horizon. Like position player wise, I feel like Jack was the next thing, and then beyond that, your lineup kind of is what it is, and you hope that especially the sort of trio of Bobby, Vinny, and Jack is like a real,
Bro, I hate to admit it, but like Miguel Garcia is starting to
and
look like a
yeah,
piece, bro.
add him in. Like that's
Yeah.
that's like half your lineup.
And
But I
also,
don't.
two of those are very important positions to have figured out.
Yeah,
Like,
of
which
course,
is
of
really
course.
nice. Like having third and short figured out.
Yeah. Um, but I don't know. Beyond that, I mean, there is a little bit of a question of like who's in this lineup 2 years from now. Like
Mm-hmm.
it almost the same thing that I said for the AL East. It's like if you see light, if you see an opportunity where you think you can grab a playoff spot, I mean, go for it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. As has often been the case, it's like kind of just pick a direction and go for it either way. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
people will mostly be on board with it.
I think the Twins are going to tailor. Like, I don't think they're going
Yeah,
full sell. Like, they're not going to trade Joe Ryan. They're not going to trade Pablo Lopez, but they do need to move off. Like, the Twins need to stop signing guys that, like, ensure they go 82 and 80.
yeah,
Like, I think that is such an issue their franchise has where, like you said, like, they pick a direction. They pick a direction to compete, but, like, it's never. It's like they're doing the thing where it's like, we hope, and we hope that if everything breaks right for all of these signings, like signing Ty France and signing Harrison Bader super late, like, if everything breaks right, like we could win 84 games.
yeah,
Awesome, bro. Like, I think that they need to commit to the fact that like they need to figure out what's going on with Royce Lewis, but like you have Correa, you have Buxton, you have this good rotation. Like you just gotta build around it a little bit.
yeah,
Or you need to true and well blow it all up, and you need to go to honestly, like you need to go to the Cardinals and be like, yeah, we're moving Joe Ryan, and we want and go get 4 of a team's top 5 in a prospect pool.
yeah.
Like go to a team that is like, man, if we had like an SP1, like we'd be in the thick of it for sure. If you find a team like that, but I know that's harder to stomach and people get fired when you commit to being bad. So
Yeah,
they also don't want to do that.
yeah.
The White Sox
The
need to trade.
bad. Yeah,
They need to trade. The White Sox should just trade Luis Robert and like, I don't know. They're regular bad. They beat the shit out of the Pirates this weekend though. Like we'll get to the end. We'll get to the Pirates. We didn't even. Oh, we touched on them a little bit, but like
we touched on them.
Jesus. Like the White Sox looked like go look at the box scores the last 3 days for the White Sox and Pirates. Like it was a thorough shellacking, and I caught some of the games. The White Sox legitimately just looked like a better team, and that's a team that's 40 and 65.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Wow.
Like top to bottom, it was just a more
Yeah.
complete team, top to bottom. the whole weekend, which, like, I don't know what you can say to that.
It's been a while since that's been true, probably, of a White Sox
Yeah,
series,
and
which
like
is good.
they've got guys I like. Like I think Kyle Teal, Colson Montgomery. Like I think Chase Midroth is like a really like you need a guy to hit eighth and like and play all over the place. And like Chase Midroth, however you say it, like seems like that kind of guy. Like they're interesting, and I think
Yeah,
that I don't know, like the how their ownership thing is working out. Like they're gonna get a new stadium. Like they are, I think, in the best position of teams that are like legitimately terrible. Of like,
yeah,
if you're a fan, I'm like, there's stuff to watch. I've gone to games this year. There's stuff to watch, which that has to count for something.
yeah.
They should have brought back Giolito though. I really wanted them. Or if you look at or not this, okay, there is a way for them this offseason to re-sign an entire starting rotation of guys that used to pitch for them. That would, honest to God, make sense for them. Like if I told you the White Sox offseason was going to be, it's like they could get Giolito, Quintana,
Yep.
like Soroka, like guys where I'm like, yeah, like that would make sense for a team like that to give them a 1 year to like get some value at the deadline.
Is
They could
Reynaldo
totally
Lopez on
just
the
go
market?
full like we're trying to fill some season ticket seats.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Is
hate it.
is Reynaldo Lopez available this offseason?
I think he might be. Yeah, like it's something like here. Let me pull this up real quick. MLB free agents 2026. Like I was looking at the like list and I was like, oh shit, the White Sox could just like get the band back together. They could bring back. They could bring back Kopech. They could bring back Kopech, Fetty. I already said Quintana, Giolito, Cease.
That's
There's
crazy.
also there's a couple other guys on here. Who else am I forgetting? Did Lorenzen pitch for them? He might have.
No. I
Sale it to
think he
club
went.
op, which is for sure getting picked up. But
Yeah, Lorenzen I
there's
think
a,
went Philly to Texas, and then he got traded for Chapman to the Royals.
oh yes, but like I said, it's plausible the Sox like Cease probably not, but like the other four that I
The other
named,
guys, yeah,
the other
all
guys are
could
all
be.
totally dudes where I'm like, it would be legit smart business for them to sign those guys because they don't have a starting pitcher that I'm like, that's, I mean, maybe if one of their prospects will be ready, but like, I don't know if they will be. The White
Yeah,
Sox, I don't know. They're like, as someone with friends that are Sox fans, they're like fun to follow right now. Like they're no longer, they got to get a new play by play guy. That's my number. That's their
yeah,
biggest offseason need is
yeah.
a new play by play guy because
Um,
woof, he stinks, dude.
yeah. And the Guardians, I don't know. They're fine. Like
Like, I don't know.
their entire lineup is hitting on like sub league average aside from Ramirez and
Can I
Kwan.
can I
And
throw
that
out like a
just
wild? Can I throw out like a wild hypothetical?
yeah.
Oh, would you call me crazy if I suggested the Cardinals get on the phone and trade for Bieber now?
No. Like
Like, I don't know what that costs, what that looks like. But let me tell you, I know we've got an insane amount of catching depth, which they need. And we've got a bit of a glob at position player depth, too. Like, because Bieber's got, like, I think a player option or something for next year that's like 14 mil or something like that. And, like, you could just trade and straight up tell them, like, listen, man, like, we want to extend you long term. Like, if you want to tack on, we'll have an extension start after 26. So like if you
yeah.
opt in, we'll offer you this and like you'll make 14 mil or whatever it is in 2026 and then like the extension kicks in. If you're Cleveland, like I don't know what because Cleveland's issue right now is like they've got a good rotation.
Yeah, they need guys who can hit.
Like
And the only other thing I have to say about Cleveland, which is kind of fun, is that I don't know if you've seen splits on Daniel Schneemann. Reddit tipped me off to this.
no, is it
Do you want to
crazy?
guess? So his WRC plus on the season is 89. Guess what the
Okay.
difference between his away WRC plus and his home WRC plus is?
Is it like 60 and like 140? Like, is it something crazy? That'd be 100, but is it like 60 and 120 or something like that?
The difference between the two is 118. His WRC plus on the road is 145. At home, it's 27.
But they made it easier to hit there. Bro, free him, man.
What's that?
Free him. Free him.
Yeah.
He's got to go
I don't
somewhere.
even know, like, and here's the thing, like, I got to look a little bit, and maybe it's like his batted ball profile.
That's crazy.
It might just kind of be luck. His home run to fly ball rate at home is 3.2%. On the road, it's 35%.
Did he just like go nuts in Houston? Like, what did he do? Because he hits righty.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are all of his home runs like Boston, Houston? Like, is it some weird? He's taking advantage of like crazy pull somewhere.
I don't know. Let me look at his Savant page actually, because I don't know what the deal is. But he has like, to me, there's nothing glaring in his batted ball profile that says he should be hitting that much better on the road or he should be hitting that poorly at home. Like his hard hit rate is like 7% higher on the road. He pulls the ball like 10% more on the road. But like, I don't know. I guess that could be a difference of over 100 WRC plus.
Is it just like? Also, forgive me. I forgot he bats lefty, throws righty. But they literally made it easier to hit balls out to right field in Cleveland. Like that was a whole thing, and all of his home runs are pull side. Weird.
I mean, it's not even he has 9 homers on the year. You know? Wait, is that right?
Yeah, he's got 9 this year.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
one of them is a absolute moonball. His most recent home.
How many of those? Yeah, no.
His most recent one was 104 off the bat, 408, like dead right at the rate. He smoked it.
Yeah.
So does he have a home run? So he doesn't have a home run at home, obviously.
He has one. He has 1 at home, 8 on the road.
This one's in KC.
Yeah. Like,
he's not.
It should not be easier to hit there than at Progressive.
San Francisco is one of his home runs.
Yeah. I think it's just a really weird anomaly. Like he's hitting slightly better, but to me, it's not like I don't know. It seems like just a weird random sample thing. But that's half a season, more than half a season, where he's an excellent hitter on the road and abysmal at home.
I mean, and some guys just don't like hitting in certain places for like one reason or another. Like it sucks at its home park, but like it's got to be something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
So if he could play all the rest of their games on the road, perfect. But
yeah, I don't know. Like if I'm the Cardinals, I'm like low key. I don't know what the rule is because like Bieber is rehabbing right now. Like he's going to be back in like a couple weeks. And like, do you go out and address the need for? Because like I'll be honest, if you told me that the Cardinals were essentially planning on rolling the same lineup into 2026, but I'll say this on camera because I know it's not going to happen. Do you know what who I'd actually make the phone call to if I was Chaim Bloom? I'm calling for Sean Murphy in Atlanta.
Oh.
That addresses, I think, the Cardinals' biggest short to medium term needs. Because the Cardinals' best catching prospects are like they're dogs, but they're in like high A. Like they're young kids that are average defenders and have absolute rocket bats, which I'm totally fine with. But like Ivan Herrera's a DH / first baseman, and they're not going to have him catch a lot because he's had 2 lower body injuries. But like I know Baldwin cooled off a little bit, but let me make sure I pull this up still. Like his kid's still having a hell of a year, and there's nowhere in There's nowhere in Atlanta to stuff Baldwin.
Yeah.
Like, because Ozuna is just like not going to get. I don't think trading Marcell Ozuna nets you a return that justifies trading him. Because he's a DH only that gets paid a lot of money.
Right. I mean, they could eat salary potentially.
Right, but AA is not a big salary
not
eater.
A salary eater. And who's looking for a DH only out of the contenders? I feel like there's not a lot of clubs who are. And
no.
I mean, you're calling the Diamondbacks for Suarez first.
Right. Or I mean, or you're even looking at like, I don't know, the Mets maybe? Like, but you're not trading with them.
Yeah. No.
Like in AL East, Yankees, no. Rays, yeah, good luck getting the Rays. The last time the Rays did that, they gave up Joe Ryan for Nelson Cruz. That was like, they're not doing that shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Drake Baldwin is currently rocking a 9% walk rate, a 16% strikeout rate, and is a 134 WRC plus with positive defensive value. He's a 2-WAR player in 67 games.
Yeah, that's a dog. If the Braves ate salary and the Guardians were buying bats, I could see them like really going for someone who can just hit. Like that's what they need, is someone who can just hit. Like you pencil into the lineup and he's going to hit. But
I don't know.
Those are two big ifs.
That's if I were the Cardinals and you want to address, if you want to tailor, you could absolutely, like, I think Murphy's a guy that you can look at to go move.
Yeah.
But the question is, like, what do the Braves need?
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. They're in a weird spot.
They need a shortstop, and honestly, you want real talk? They need a second baseman.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Ozzy Albies is maybe cooked. Like that's.
I've never been big on Albies. I mean, listen, I'm the one coming into this year who said I don't know if I'm sold on the Braves. Like,
and that's fair.
For a lot of people, Albies is like penciled in your head as a great second baseman, and I wasn't all the way bought in on him. I wasn't all the way bought in on Harris. I'm going crazy with my hindsight bias right now. Like, those are definitely not the reasons I gave for the Braves being fragile, but
yeah, I mean, I didn't think Harris was going to be
this bad.
So bad. I think it was so bad. I don't know. I'm like running through the hypotheticals in my head, but like, it feels like bad practice for the Cardinals to do this. But like, I think both Alec Burleson and Nolan Gorman are roster redundancies. Like, does Gorman plus some catching? Does like Gorman plus Cardinals have 2 catchers in the top 100? Like, does Gorman plus, like, does that get Murphy maybe? And we'll take all the money. Or like something. Burley plus prospects for Bieber, and we just say, you know what? And then we trade Matz and Maton to replenish the prospect we just gave up for those guys. That puts us kind of in the same spot, but the roster feels a lot cleaner. I'm asking you to, help a team that you hate, but like, I think logistically the Braves should look at moving Sean Murphy. Like, actually.
Yeah, no, I think they should.
Even though he's good. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, they got to dump him because he sucks. But like,
buy into Drake Baldwin. I mean, their thing is like buying in all the way to young talent that they have, and it works really well. But that also involves getting rid of a logjam for, a catcher who's valuable right now.
Right. And I think that there are a very limited number of teams that would buy on that. Cubs are also on, like, I think the Cubs should make a call for Sean Murphy too. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that like the Cardinals are the only fit, but like, like, I think Cubs are an obvious fit for that. Like, Yankees are like sort of always a fit for that. But
I think if the Cubs were going to go in for a catcher like Sean Murphy, it should have happened when Amaya went down. And now that he's rehabbing, it's like you're going to have Amaya, you're going to have Carson Kelly, and they've both played well enough that I don't think you can justify putting your trade deadline resources toward displacing one of them instead of something else on the roster.
I think if they go after Murphy, that'd be a good offseason. That's a good offseason conversation to have, though.
Yes.
Because this goes back to my whole point of not acquiring money that would leak into 2026. Because if you, in theory, extend Tucker for what he's worth, That gives you about Sean Murphy money left over.
Yeah.
And like that would be a smashing success. They'd have the deepest lineup in baseball, I think, and that wouldn't be even a conversation.
Yeah.
By adding Murphy. Like I think that
Yep.
their glaring lineup issue is like is third. Like you know what you're getting in second, but like it's a floor.
Yeah.
At second base and catcher, it's great now, but like find me in October is
Right.
how I feel
Exactly.
about what they're
Exactly.
going to get offensively at catcher.
That's what I mean. I think I'm not relying on Carson Kelly. I'm hoping that Amaya has some positive
Whoa,
after having some
whoa! I
rest.
mean, zero bias on former organization and first names here, but to me, Carson Kelly, $500 million extension. He is future Hall of
Okay.
Famer.
Yeah, you know how valuable we've talked about how valuable the catching position is. You really can't overrate, the importance of blocking
I
down the
mean,
guy there.
like, yeah,
Okay, let's hit the West divisions, and then I got to make
true.
dinner.
Yeah, sorry. I think Sean Murphy's like a really fascinating. Like, I don't think anyone will call this deadline, but like, the Braves are also the kind of org that like they get ahead of stuff. Like
Yeah,
AA is really good about like
you want
this
to
is the right.
you want to talk about something that's already been signed? It's probably something to do with the Braves.
Dude, yes. This is what I'm saying. We're gonna get a notification from the Braves that they've like traded Sean Murphy to fucking Korea, and Drake Baldwin has signed a 7-year, $40 million extension. And we're gonna be like, you gotta be shitting me, dude. Like it's gonna be some bullshit like that. The NL West, the Dodgers will do something. I don't know what,
They have to. The vibes are not good. I mean,
but who, but
yeah,
what?
pitching.
This may be for the first time where I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Because it's not like, oh, we're just going to like pencil the biggest name. It's like, oh, yeah, the Dodgers will make a call on that. I don't know if the Dodgers make a call on Sandy. Like, they're also in I think it's not like the Cubs, but like with how their injuries are lined up, like, you don't need committed money. You need a guy that's going to pitch now
They
and
need
get
to
you to
break.
October.
They need to break their archetype of like high production, high injury risk pitchers. Like they need guys who they just know will pitch. I feel like, and that I don't know. It feels like a boomer take for me, but
Eric Fetty, welcome to the City of Angels.
like I don't know, man. They're just
Yeah.
like everybody knows this is what the Dodgers have been all about. Is like your Blake Snell, your Tyler Glasnow, you're like all these guys who are just fantastic pitchers, of course, excellent pitchers,
For sure.
but big injury risks and they miss a bunch of time. And I mean, you get to this point in the season and it's like, with everybody that the Dodgers have under contract, obviously, if you assume perfect health, that's a fantastic baseball team, but that's not what they're getting. And their lineup is still guys who are going to go out and get it done. And pitching wise,
Sorry to interrupt. David Robertson's a Philly. Just now.
Wow.
That's per Ken
He was
Rosenthal.
he was
Received
still
more
a
than
free
$5
agent,
million.
huh?
Robertson will receive more than $5 million for the rest of the season on his deal, which was for a prorated $16 million. So are they out on trading for a closer then?
I don't think so, but I mean, I don't have to tell you that I think that's a good move for them.
The Cubs should have done that shit, dude.
Absolutely.
I was so in on them getting Robertson. I was like, even at the start of the year. There's videos on our page. I thought Robertson would be perfect for them.
But
sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. I saw that notification. I wanted to make sure we got that on camera.
Yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying for the Dodgers is like you're at the point where pitching wise, you've got the guys who are filling in for your big money pitchers who are supposed to be there. And I think at some point, if you're going out and getting someone, it needs to be someone who's just like you can have more faith in. This guy's going to pitch for us and be like productive. I don't know, and I also don't know like what's the situation of their like are these guys going to be back for later this season? Glasnow, Snell. Like, what's the deal?
That's the issue. We'll see.
Yeah.
Sasaki was terrible, but he's for sure not. The other thing is that, like, I'm gonna get a little philosophical in this, but like, not philosophical. We're gonna get real theoretical here.
Sorry, Glasnow is healthy right now. Anyway.
Yeah, but the question of how many innings are you getting out of him is still totally up in the air.
Yeah.
That guy could throw 3 1/3 perfect innings in his next start and then be like, my tricep hurts. And it's like, well, 6 months, goodbye.
Yeah.
So this is a theoretical I want to ask you is how many career innings do you think Ohtani has left?
This was Tommy John number 2 that he just came back from?
Yes. And it took him 28 months to rehab it.
Wow.
Which is not, or like 28, 26. It was over 2 full years for him to to get back into game action. He is still, in my opinion, I'm not calling him completely recovered yet because I'm not going to count it until I see him make a 5-6 inning start.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I only saw his first start back, but he's not pitching deep into games right now either.
No, I believe his longest outing of the year is like 3 innings.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got 9 innings on the year. That's an excellent question. And, I mean, in my head, I'm thinking under 500, but he doesn't even have 500 career MLB innings. So, yeah, I mean, I'm certainly going to say under 500.
I want to offer, I think, maybe a unique.
So, okay, here's one more question. One more
Yeah.
question about his Tommy John recovery. How much is the timeline by that impacted by the fact that he's still going out and DHing every day, as opposed to guys that are true and well and
Yes.
truly resting?
Correct. The other thing that impacts it, I think, as well, is like you can't rehab him. There is no going down to low A and then going to high A and then going to double A and then going to triple A and building up because they need him to DH every day, which is why they're having him throw an inning at a time. Yeah. Because he's rehabbing at the major league level. I'm going to propose that he essentially becomes a closer by very unconventional means. For those of you that are unaware, there is a very funny, hilarious way for you to get a save, which is if you pitch the last 3 innings of a game and your team wins, 3 innings or more, you are credited with a save. What I am going to propose that he does for the rest of his career is he is not going to be a piggyback for an opener, but if I were the Dodgers, I would essentially tell him once a week there is going to be an outing where our guy throws 5 innings or 6 innings for his start, and you will pitch the rest of the game no matter what. You're going to throw 4 to 7 innings a week because you multiply that by 25, that's like 100 to 120 innings. So yeah. I think that's the best plan going forward, which is essentially, hey, you know what? It's 5-1. We just had Blake Snell throw 5 innings. You got it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like that's the best way to deploy him because if he goes down legitimately as a pitcher, it's not a guarantee you'll be able to hit for you. So I'd rather it be a situation where you are managing his workload in a way where it's still actually beneficial for team construction. You maintain a rotation, and his job is essentially, it's not mop up, but it's literally like, hey, regardless of the leverage, like once a week, like you're going to pitch like 4 innings and like it's yours the rest of the way.
And I think that's reasonable. It'd be interesting to see something like that go down.
I don't know what you would call that because it's not a closer, but he's also not a follower.
Yeah. No, he's a leader. No. That's interesting too. I mean, I'm thinking now about the question of how many innings does he have left in him. And even if you're saying that's like 100 to 120 innings a year, I don't see that lasting more than 4 or 5 years. So again, I'm coming to like 500 or fewer.
That's what I mean. Like, I think, is it under 500, 500 to 1,000, or over 1,000? You know what I mean? Like, that's sort of the 3 buckets. I think I lean to the middle one right now because I think they want him to try to be a starter, and it's going to be super front loaded, the innings he gets to. But I don't know. I want to explore in the offseason, like having conversations with him of like, you're not a starter, but you're also like, that's not really a reliever either.
Yeah.
Like that's almost this notion of like, because in theory, like if you're carrying like it goes back to like I think the future of baseball is like a 6-man rotation where 3 guys are capable of going 6 innings and 3 guys are capable of going 5 innings. And how do you account for those innings when it's like the 5 and dive guys? Like when are you? Because every team already has like an A bullpen versus a B bullpen of like how the game is going. So it's like, how do you divide that up? And I'm like, there's a way where one day you can rest your entire bullpen.
Yeah.
And just throw
the other thing about it is it's so far from unprecedented that you kind of define a unique and new pitching spot just for Ohtani. I mean, like, I don't know, not that it's terribly unheard of, but like with the Angels, he was the starter every Sunday. And it's like, you're not doing that for any other starter. You don't have to accommodate for the fact that he's also
you did that in college. He was they had him on like college schedule.
Yeah. But so in that regard, like the idea that, you know, you're sort of redefining an aspect of how your staff works because you're working in Ohtani, sure, totally makes sense. Because also you want to talk roster spots, consider him your DH and you get an extra pitcher, basically. Right. So, yeah, this frees up the rest of your pitching staff to fill in. And then if you're getting 120 innings a year out of this guy, that's 120 innings less that you're counting on from 13 roster spots than every other team in baseball. So, and
I just, especially with how the Dodgers, it goes back to what we talk about of the archetype that they chase is they want guys that throw 100 miles an hour down the middle. And that's what they want. They want guys that do that. And it's like there is a cost of doing that. When Mark Pryor is your pitching coach, there's a cost with that.
Yeah.
And
Freeman just wore a pitch off the wrist and got pinch ran for, by the way.
The Dodgers are tanking.
Yeah.
The Rockies, trade Ryan McMahon, please. Just do the obvious thing.
Yeah.
I'll give them a passing grade. I don't care what they get as the return. Just like do the thing you're supposed to do and you get credit.
The Diamondbacks sell. Merrill Kelly gone, Zach Gallen gone, Gino Suarez gone.
They're maybe gonna look to move Naylor, but like I don't know who's getting
Yeah, I don't know who's in on that.
No one's getting what? Yeah, but like, why would do that when Ryan O'Hearn?
Right. True.
Like Ryan O'Hearn is cheaper, therefore, cheaper salary, and also like will cost less of like control and all that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather get Ryan O'Hearn.
Yeah.
Ooh, I take that back. Josh Naylor, Seattle.
I don't mind.
They're my other Suarez pick, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think Naylor in Seattle makes a lot of sense. Who we missing else? Padres. We can't possibly fucking go on camera and predict what we think that team is going to do.
No.
They will do something that shocks and abhors us, and also something where we're like, how in the world did they just get away with that?
Did they pull that off? Yeah.
Yeah, that's every Padres deadline for the last like 5 years where I'm like, what in God's green earth are they doing? And then I'm like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Like I saw the Athletic, their like hot take was like the Padres will move a Major League Baseball start, like a guy that is a starter on their active roster. And I was like, I don't know if that's a hot take anymore.
Yeah.
They need a left fielder. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Because Xander Bogaerts, I mean, it's like a 730 OPS he has now, but he's been great the last month and a half. I think the shoulder stuff is kind of behind him. Like last year was a lost year, but the big thing that he's rediscovering, which is insane to me, he's doing the opposite what you would expect a guy like that to do as he gets older. He only has like 6 homers this year. You know, he's almost got like 20 stolen bases.
Oh, wow.
Like I think he's like 17 for 19 on the bases this year. Like it's not an inefficient either. So like he's providing value. That contract is still atrocious, but like, you know, they also should maybe get Josh Naylor now that I say that. Because there's no shot in hell you're extending Luis Ariz.
Well, I'm on Luis Ariz's page right now. And it's just remarkable that you can be above a league average hitter. I mean, 103 WRC plus, so he really sneaks in. And a perfect 0 wins above replacement.
Yeah.
Because he's that bad defensively at first base.
Correct.
I'm such a Luis Ariz hater.
Well, here's the thing. It goes back to like one of my favorite Luis Ariz hypotheticals is like, what would he have to hit for batting average for him to win MVP where you like wouldn't care about WAR like as much? And I'm like, he would dead ass have to hit like 430 for me to be like, okay. Like I will give a guy MVP if he plays a full 160 and breaks the MLB batting average record. Because at that point, if he's only worth 2 WAR, because there's no way you can hit that high and not be like at least a 2 WAR player. Like straight up, I don't think that's mathematically conceivable from a value standpoint. Because that means you're getting on base at minimum 43% of the time.
Yeah, that's insane.
So,
which, by the way, he's never had an on-base percentage over 400 in his career.
That's nuts. Like you would think all he would do is like how are you not Brendan Donovan, I guess is my question. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Donovan is like the actual definition of what Brendan Donovan is like, I think what the modern contact hitter actually should look like, which is like, I'm going to triple slash 300, 380, 400.
Yeah.
Like, that's feasible.
He doesn't walk a lot. This is Ariz again. He doesn't walk a lot, but he doesn't like never. I mean, he walks less than he used to. His walk rate in Minnesota was like 7 to 10%, and now it's like 3 to 5%. So
you can't do that. Like,
you
can't do that.
Yeah. So it's. The Padres just have a lot tied up in guys who are fine, but not like impact for the money that they.
Yeah, I don't hate the Cronenworth deal. That one's not terrible. Like I'll pay a guy. What is it, like 10 mil a year to be a 1.5 WAR guy, 2 WAR guy? Like sure.
Yeah, and here's my last question for the Padres: is Jackson Merrill for the rest of his career a 2024 Jackson Merrill player or a 2025 Jackson Merrill player? And this is a difference of like 20-ish WRC plus points.
I'll put it. Let me phrase it to you better, or not better, but like a different hypothetical. I want to run with you. Pull up Julio Rodriguez on Fangraphs.
Yeah.
As someone that rosters him in a dynasty league where people love to take pot shots because it's like, oh, he's only like a 110 WRC plus right now. 111, having a bit of a good day today. Attaboy.
Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, sweet 730 OPS right now, by the way. But if you're the Mariners, like, do you give a shit? Looking at the fact that, like, okay, if he's like a 115 Julio is a 4 to 5 WAR player.
Yep.
If the WRC plus is like 130, he's a 6 WAR player. It's like the Vlad Guerrero question, where like, does Jackson Merrill, is he good enough where like he'll have these lean years where you're just like, okay, well, the floor will remain so high? Like, can that exist for Jackson Merrill is the question.
Yeah.
Because like for Merrill, it's like he's tracking for like a 3 WAR season.
Yep.
Which,
like 2.5.
Right. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but to me that is the cutoff of like, Julio can still, it'd be a very intriguing Hall of Fame package for Julio. But if Julio for his career only ends up being like a 120 WRC plus, but that 120 WRC plus is gold to platinum glove defense and 20 to 25 homers and 20 to 25 steals every year for 15 years, he's making the Hall of Fame.
Do you think they're getting gold to platinum glove defense out of him?
Julio?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because whatever Fangraph's defensive metric is, disagrees.
Yes. He's got 10. He is already for his career plus 32 OAA.
Yeah.
This year he's got 10 DRS and 6 OAA. He's always been an OAA guy, and now he's starting to. I think his next step as a defender is DRS is also starting to like him too.
Okay.
So for me, I think maybe not platinum glove, but like, we do have to account for Denzel Clark incoming.
True.
But I think Julio, like that's what I mean. Like, okay, are his lean years going to look like, you know, fringe all-star hitter with all-star defense? Like if you do that for his contract, which runs through, it's a 12-year deal. Like we're going to look at a guy that's probably going to end up he's tracking for 300 home runs, he's going to track for 300 homers, 300 steals. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No,
think
I can see it, and I do
I
feel
think
like
it's
no
it's
matter what,
can Merrill get to a point where his floor looks like Julio's floor, which is 4 WAR.
right? And I mean, what you're looking at with Merrill this year is a floor of 2.5 WAR. I mean, given the contract that he signed, first of all, he's making basically league minimum still this year. His contract kicks in next year, and given that, even if his floor is this season, where you're a 110 WRC plus hitter, 2.5 WAR, and you get that's what you've got for the next 9 years after this year, right? And at that point, yeah, he's over 30. He's probably not the same center field defender, but like, doesn't matter. Your floor there is good. Like, that's a good player. Yeah, I don't know. I might go dig into his peripherals on offense a little bit, but
Merrill?
yeah, Merrill. Just
he's interesting because like the thing with Julio is like this year is like an important year, I think, for the reason I think his numbers are down a little bit this year. Like last year it was injuries and he played through like a pretty bad high ankle sprain and I think just kind of toughed it out because he was trying to get Seattle to the playoffs. This year I think the big thing is, he's starting to get the K percentage to like 21% versus 25%. And if you're only going to be like a 7% walk guy, like, okay, like now we're starting to talk about like that's where you're at that tipping point where like long term you're setting yourself up for like long term success. I think in doing that, he's still got to make better swing decisions, but I think he's also just a little bit of a streakier player. But I think it's very important that he is developing. At least he's choosing to. I think he's starting to make more intentional choices with that. And Merrill, I think, if I remember correctly, Merrill, the issue is, the K's spiked, but so is the walk rate. So, like, how much of a trade-off is that?
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Okay.
Who else in the NL was forgetting? The Giants. They've already made their move. So,
what did they do?
The Giants made their deadline move already.
What was that?
Devers.
Oh. Duh.
Like to me, that's they might shuffle the deck chairs in the bullpen, but like Doval reemergence, like Randy Rodriguez emergence has been really nice for them. But I look at their lineup and it's just kind of like maybe first base. I don't think. Again, that's more like maybe they're the Ryan O'Hearn team. But Devers is learning first. So like, I don't know. They've got shortstop, they got third, they got first base. Elliot Ramos in left, like Jung Ho Lee in center.
Yeah.
Corner outfield, like they're a rental team. They're going to pick up rentals.
Yep. And it'll be interesting to see where they go. I mean, I feel like at this point, NL wide, you have, 6 teams who are seemingly in position to either win their division or, you look at the Central and you look at the East. They both seem at this point like 2-horse races. One team will win the division, one team will get a wild card spot, which leaves probably one up for grabs from the NL West, right? So the Giants just have to get above the Padres.
Yeah, but that's a 2.5 game. That's a 2.5. I'll say this too. The Padres are 4 back of the Dodgers. Like,
right.
It's not like it is not.
It's not inconceivable.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, there's the issue with I think the NL is there's 5 teams that are for sure out. That won't. I'll put it this way: there's 5 teams that are for sure not buying in any capacity, which is Miami, Atlanta, DC, Pittsburgh, and the Rockies. None of those teams are buying in any capacity.
Yep.
I think the D-backs, the Cardinals, and the Reds are all going to like Taylor. Like they're going to buy and sell for different reasons.
Yep.
Which I think is for all of those teams is the right decision. Brewers, I think, will stand pat because they
do.
Words I can't use. And then the Phillies, Mets, Cubs, Dodgers, Padres are all going to legit buy. So I think the real problem is like I think 9 teams are going to go for it to a certain degree in the NL.
Yeah.
I think if you're the Reds, the Cardinals, and the Giants, I think this year is more of like a, if we get in, great. But I think it's more about playing winning baseball and like proving that like you've got something sustainable for the future. But I think all the other teams. So I don't know. I think Phillies, Mets, Cubs, Brewers, Dodgers, Padres just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that there aren't 3 other teams that are going to buy that will then, as a domino effect, impact how those teams will then do.
Yeah.
AL West.
AL West. Let's knock it out.
Fucking Astros, dude.
Astros are never going to die.
Never.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't think
at
you
least
can.
Unlike the Brewers, they ethically won't die. Where it's like they're at least getting guys on their team that are like good. Shout out Jeremy Pena, bro. I was a huge Jeremy Pena guy. I know he's out right now, but that guy was 7th in ball at the All-Star break in F4. Yeah. Dude is a baller, and I love Jeremy Pena so much. He should get the Dansby contract. He is like I think he is Dansby Swanson 2.0 in my opinion.
I respect the take.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Do they need to do that much is the thing? Like relief pitching?
Like they gave Walker that contract, and he's been atrocious.
It's been terrible, yeah. They could actually be a Ryan O'Hearn kind of team.
I think O'Hearn is an Astro that would make the most sense. Their bullpen's been good, though. Like, the bullpen's been good. Like, Brian King has been great for them. So, I don't know. Like, they could go out and get a closer just because if everyone else is going to kind of balk at the price and the market dries up, they feel like – because they have Hader. Like, they're probably in, like, the Griffin Jack sweepstakes. They're in the setup. Honestly, Phil Maton. There you go.
Yeah.
That Phil Maton feels like a guy that can go to Houston. Like, who's a guy that we can get for a year that's been pitching well? And, I mean, they know him in Houston, so.
And, again, like, every season is, like, the Astros making the ALCS, basically. But it's, like, from their perspective right now, the American League looks super winnable. You know? Like,
dude, when oh, my God. Earlier when he was like, there's not an obvious team in the AL that could like sleepwalk into the World Series, I was like, it's the goddamn Astros.
It's the Astros. Like,
I could totally see it where it's just like the Yankees just can't get over beating them. They can't get over that hump.
So yeah, that's Houston. Probably just a couple of lower key but pretty smart ads, and the onus is on the Mariners, I think, to make something happen. You've talked about Julio. There's a few bats that could be a good fit there. The pitching is like not what it was last year, but it's still really good, I think. And they gotta.
I'm gonna ask for it again. Do you guys pretty please like Nolan Gorman and some other stuff for Bryce Miller? Like, please, it's so fucking obvious. Like, please. I'm not asking for Logan Gilbert, all right? Like, I'm not asking for the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or even the 4. I'm asking for your 5 here. Like,
actually, now that I look, I would say that the need for offense on the Mariners is maybe a little overstated. Like, I know this has been the narrative for a while now, but like, they've had some pretty decent lineup depth this year. I mean, by WRC plus, Julio is their 5th best qualified hitter.
Yes.
Like, that's where you want to be.
Correct. It's more so the fact that like it's the names and the how sustainable long term it is. And I also, Mariners fans, I'm not ignorant to your farm system. You guys have some absolute thumpers that are going to be coming up and making good plays for you. But at the same time, like, we rocking with Ben Williamson. You know what I mean? Like, we just think that, like, that's the answer at third base long term? I think not. I absolutely think not. Like, Jorge Polanco. That was a great – they stuck with him. He's rewarded him this year, but he's kind of a DH only. I know he's played some games at second and some games at third, but like at this point in his career, I don't know. It's just like it's one of those things where it's like it's like the argument with the Tigers as like this is the difference between the Tigers like being an interesting playoff team versus being a World Series contender. It got exposed last year for the Tigers, and the Glaber signing, the Glaber signing helped with this. You can't platoon every position. You need half your lineup has to be guys that you can say, no matter what, I'm playing them every single day. Cal Raleigh, every single day. Julio, Randy, every single day. That's 3.
Yeah. And
you need another.
And I mean, obviously, you play your home games at T-Mobile Park, but there's also not a lot of thump in that lineup currently, and that is something that you generally want to have around come the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. So, like I said, I totally hear you that, like, yeah, they certainly have done a great job with that, but it's also at a certain point, like, bro, like, you just need guys that you can trust to play every day, and you sit on pitching depth for a reason. This year's a great example of it, but it's like, do you guys? Obviously you trust yourselves to keep building and developing that pitching depth. So like, go get some guys. That are like there are teams that are going to be willing. There are a lot of teams that are open to tailoring, which is I love using that phrase that they're not buying or selling. It's a tailor.
Yeah,
and they're willing to give up.
Peyton, if you have the endurance for this, put up a Carson tailoring counter today. I think it's.
I know. I've used it a lot for a reason. But it's because this year there's so many teams where it's like they're not going all in, but they're also not tearing it down.
My only other thought looking at their team's page on Fangraphs is I feel like it's time to open a dialogue about Fangraphs pitcher war being deflated, because I don't agree that the Mariners don't only have one pitcher over two wins.
There's a happy medium. There's a happy medium between Baseball Reference and Fangraphs for pitcher war, I think.
Yeah. Okay, we got 3 teams left. Let's knock them out.
We do. The Rangers.
The Rangers. Yeah,
should do nothing, if you ask me.
Who do they even have right now? Like, who do they have that could go? Yeah, that's what I'm.
Do you know what the real answer is? If there's a market for him, Evaldi. But I think they'll take calls on it. I don't think you're going to get an offer that's going to make you go wow.
Is anybody going to want to pick up like a Higashioka backup catcher?
Maybe, yeah. Like I think that's fine. I just they're not. It's not quite like the Cardinals but they're kind of at a point where like you're not going to move Wyatt Langford. You're not moving you look at their lineup and it's just like it's either a guy that like is for sure not movable contract for one reason or another, or you just have zero interest in doing it, or
who's desperation picking up Patrick Corbin,
right? Like it's shit like that. Like maybe Adolis gets moved.
I actually didn't realize Patrick Corbin was pitchable again this year.
Yeah, that's why when you said I didn't think you were fully kidding. I'm like there is maybe a market for
there's going to be a market for Patrick Corbin. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is going to be that is going to be like a team like the Giants or something like that doing the we need depth. Yeah. Who did I say is maybe in the market for like a good corner out? Oh, I could see Adolis Garcia on the Padres. There you go.
Sure.
And putting him in left field. Like, he hasn't been phenomenal. I understand he plays right field, but Fernando Tatis, guys.
So, by the way,
yes,
Adolis Garcia being 2 full years older than J.P. Crawford is absurd.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's
yeah, I mean, he had a good, 3-year run there with Texas, for sure. But, the last couple years haven't been great.
Yeah, woof. I mean, yeah. I feel like the implication or the sort of reputation he had built up was that he was a dude after 2023, and he just vanished.
It's almost like the 27-year-old we put on waivers twice. It was like not a long-term piece.
Only has so much in him, yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If he was on the ball club the last 3 years, I'd have been a happy camper. But I just remember getting a lot of shit from that, or seeing a lot of shit Cardinals fans getting like, we put him on waivers twice, and he cleared.
Yeah.
Like, no one claimed him twice. Like, that was not whatever. I don't think the Rangers can do anything, though, because the biggest question the Rangers possibly had this year has been answered, which is, can Jacob deGrom be Jacob deGrom? And the answer is yes.
But also, this is Jacob deGrom, and he's 37 years old. So the clock is ticking.
Yeah, but like he's got 3 years left on the deal, and I'll be honest, I know this is my deGrom thing. I think people the same way. I think there's a bit of overreaction with deGrom, where it was like, I need people to understand that the reason he kept getting hurt is because he kept off-putting specifically Tommy John. It was not a bunch of different injuries. It was one that he kept kicking the can down the road on. And there's a honeymoon for Tommy John that I ascribe to that theory that I think you get yourself like 2 years of, and so I think that he will be healthy for the rest of his Rangers contract, which is this year and 2 more years.
Yeah. My final thing to say about the Rangers is there a time where you could have said, in the near future, there will be an MLB rotation of Nathan Eovaldi, Jack Leiter, Jacob deGrom, Patrick Corbin, Kumar Rocker, and had Mets fans absolutely salivating?
Yes, 100%. That's a good thing to point out. Hey, and I'll give credence to this too. Another big thing that the Rangers had to answer for themselves this year is like they did the important part, I think, in team building, which is like, we got the big money guys, the guys that are in the lineup every day. We have our fucking studs. But what about the young guys?
Yeah.
Leiter has been phenomenal. I mean, not phenomenal may not the best word to use, but like
a major league pitcher.
He's been a major league pitcher, and he's shown some flashes that I'm very excited about what he looks like moving forward. I understand like a 4.4 isn't going to light the world on fire, but he's rocking a 110 stuff plus as a starter. It's just his location isn't great. Like he's going to figure it out.
He's walking some guys for sure.
Rocker, same deal. His second call back up to the bigs has been significantly better than the first. He seems to be a little bit more like of a kitchen sink guy than maybe I think some people anticipated. But I still think that there's going to be some good ball in him.
Yeah.
Which is what you need. So in theory, they can have a rotation of Eovaldi, Leiter, deGrom, Rocker, and someone else, and I'm confident in that rotation.
Yeah.
We've got A's and Angels left.
And Angels.
Let's do the A's first, because the Angels, I have maybe some like fun stuff. The A's should absolutely fire sale. Without a doubt in my mind, they need to fire sale. I was dead serious when I said this. Miguel Andujar is going to net a legitimate return.
Yep.
I don't think people realize the fact he's like a league average hitter, but he's a league average hitter that is like hitting for average and getting on base at it's like a 330 clip. I want to say something in that neck of the woods, but that plays.
323. There's not too much there. I mean, he's like a bench piece.
Yeah, but I think that especially for his contract and all that, that is almost free. So the fact that I think he's going to play a semi-important role for a team, being like a fourth outfielder, that kind of guy is interesting. I don't know. I think the big thing I'm going to focus on for this team for the rest of the year is how good of a hitter can Denzel Clark become?
Yep.
Because he has a 70 WRC plus, and I think he's like a 1.5 WAR player right now. It's preposterous what he's doing on defense, and I'm quite excited
Yeah.
It feels weird to be like, I miss a throwback player like this, but I really do. Like, this guy could conceivably be like a 2.5 WAR player and be like one of the worst hitters in baseball. Like, that is, I miss guys like that in our game because I think it's really hard. I think it's harder to get a legitimate shot, but just hit him ninth. And he's a righty, which I think is also helpful.
Yeah.
Like, he's a little bit more platoon proof, but I don't know. I'm kind of rubbing my hands together on what he's going to do the rest of the way.
Who's the guy they had? He was a top prospect with the Braves, and he came back in one of
Christian
those
Pache.
trades. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not Christian Pache, which I think is
Yeah.
good.
He's what Christian Pache like should have been if he couldn't hit. But in
Correct.
fact, Christian Pache was like way worse at hitting.
But I think they also need to trade Sevy. They should also be trading JP Sears. They've got a really interesting guy in their bullpen that I want people to keep an eye on that should be in their rotation. His name is Jack Perkins. He was like a 5th-round pick for them a few years ago. Had some really good stuff in the minors this year. Let me pull it up real quick. 44 innings at AAA this year with a 14 K9. Also, the fact he had a 2.9 ERA in the PCL is preposterous. That's like a 0 ERA in the bigs, frankly.
Yeah, that's insane.
And out of the bullpen this year, he's got 12 innings with a 10 K9 and a 2.9 ERA in the peripherals to back it up. I'd like to see him get a run as a starter. But yeah, that's a guy that I don't know. They should be looking at like Severino as an option to move.
Yeah.
They got to trade everyone.
Nobody's off limits. Yeah.
Correct.
Um,
I'm going to give it a ludicrous take about the Angels. I think the Angels should fucking buy.
Hit me.
So, okay. Let's acknowledge the following. The run differential stinks. However, you're hovering around 500, right? I think for the momentum of the franchise, you do not sacrifice long term. But I think buying in a way where you're setting yourself up for, like, it sounds crazy, but like if I told you that they could buy to an extent that it would give them, you know, a couple years like the Cardinals have had the last couple years, where like it's a winning record and you're in the peripherals of the playoffs, but like ultimately you don't feel terrible about how the year went. Like there's things that you got excited about and like things look. They need that. They need that badly. And I just feel like there is some room for them to, like, I look at the lineup right now. I don't hate it. Like, Moncada's a really interesting conversation. We talk about third basemen that are available. Like, that would be crazy. If the Cubs got him, that'd be hilarious.
That would be really funny.
Moncada certainly fits the bill.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I look at the lineup. It's the question of like, it's the rotation, but there's so many teams that are like fire selling in a way that is like Kikuchi's good. Like Jose Soriano has been like Tyler Anderson is like a pretty good 4 or 5. When I think about Jose Soriano, like he's been really good. Like I don't know, man.
I'm looking through this Angels staff, and this is like an all-time. Actually, going down the list of guys who have thrown at least a pitch for the Angels is like an all-time. Let's remember some guys
For sure.
pitching staff.
I don't know. I look at their team and I just think like I don't know, man. There's a way for them to buy that I think doesn't sacrifice long term, and I think I kind of want to see them do that. I think I really think that I want the Angels to think to themselves, listen, the most important thing right now is that we have a season that feels like we have a foundation we can build on. Like, I don't know how you do that. Like, I don't know what names you can really go for on the deadline at the deadline, but like, if they went and got, like, who are starting pitchers that you'd conceivably get that I would be like, yeah, like this makes sense for them of like, just to like build on something.
I mean, they could call it like
Like, what's it? Like, what's the Michael Walker asking price going to look like? Is it going to cost you? Not that he's a bum, but like
Yeah.
that. There's some momentum there. Like, there's got to be like, there has to be a way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's my take. Is I don't want them to just like sell or stand pat. I want them to do something tangible. I also just think that like they're gonna outright release Rendon at the end of the year anyway. And I straight up I would at this point like
Yeah.
I think the best thing that this franchise is going to do is they're like it's not a buyout obviously, but like it's the last year of his deal is next year. I think that they'll just say like just eat it
We're
and don't have him on the roster.
we're already almost through that contract.
Yes.
That's absurd.
He has one more year on it, and like I'll be honest, dude, like I don't think he plays another game for the Angels.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like,
We're
looking at
He
how
was
many
actually
total.
good in 2020.
Yes, he was legitimately good in 2020,
Yeah.
and then it began.
And then and then he decided that in fact not enjoying baseball had caught up with him.
Which I just, yeah, I sympathize with guys where it's like it's a job. Totally, I hear you on that. Like it's very easy for the dude that will have no shot at playing professional baseball to be like, that's a gift. And like,
Yeah.
you should cherish that every day.
Yeah.
I hear a guy being like, it's a job. Totally,
Yeah.
bro. However, you have a job where you're not allowed to say that publicly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if your doctor was like, yeah, this is like a job for me. I don't really love what I do. Like, I'm not fucking going to you anymore. Like,
Right.
fuck no, dude. I don't want my dentist. Like, there are just certain jobs where you don't want to hear a guy or you don't want to hear anyone say that they don't love it. And I think when you have the privilege of being a pro athlete, that's one of them. I hear you. If I'm your boy and you're over at my house and you want to get that off your chest, totally. I hear you. Don't be saying that shit.
No.
Insane. So I don't know how you feel about the Angels, but like I don't know, man. Like my reasoning for this too is like Neto looks legit. Like Neto looks like a legitimate piece to build around. I think we really poo-pooed on Mr. Nolan, but he's starting to really kind of put it together. Where he's I don't know, like a 2.5 WAR. Like I don't know if he's an extension candidate, but like that's a piece to build around. Joe Adell this year, has he finally put it together at 26? Like,
Yeah, he's hitting the ball.
There's just a lot of absolutely hilarious though. He's only worth 1.5 WAR despite the golly man. They got to put him in left field. They got to trade Taylor Ward. But I don't know. I just think at a certain point too, like if you want to keep, you're starting to get organizational success. You're starting to find that you got to take steps to compete so that not only do those guys want to stay, but like so that fans see that like there's an investment that's going to be made too.
And like you still have Mike Trout, like he's still on your roster. May as well try and build something while he's around, right?
Yeah. He's only a 130 WRC plus this year. Like the defense part of it is finally caught up to him, but I think he's on pace to have like 30 bombs again. So like, I
mean he's already he's already not far off from playing the most baseball he has since 2022.
Of which he had 6 WAR, dude. Look at that slash line the last time he was even remote. Go to 2019. It's the last time I'd argue he was fully healthy and just
Yeah, I mean, I think like the amount of pop that he had, I feel like is kind of easy to forget. But that dude could slug,
dude. Yeah, and I just
it's like the sort of thing where it's like obviously something about his game had to be good, and you knew he had the like fantastic plate discipline, but like the dude had pop. It's crazy.
Is he chasing? I think he's chasing. I think he might be a chase for 600 guy.
600.
Bro, he's gonna. How many home runs do you think he'll be at by the end of this year? Because he's got 395 right now.
Yeah,
let's say he's
he
at
ends
410. Let's say he's at 410 end of the year. Is that feasible?
I think that's doable. I mean, you'd have to turn it on a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
Not that much.
I'll put it this way: the most aggressive FanGraphs projection for home runs from rest of the way has him hitting 15 the rest of the way, which would get him to 410. So is that 190 divided by 5 is the guaranteed rest of his contract? He'd have to average 38 a year.
That's too much.
All right, so let's say he goes.
He hasn't hit 38 home runs since 2022.
Let's say he
actually
goes.
2022 was crazy. He played 3/4 of a season. He had 40 home runs.
I think he can get to a point where he can hit like 35 a year again.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well,
but like
35 a year for a year, but 35 a year for 5 years.
So my thing is, if you only take it through his current contract, however, if he's sitting on 554 at the end of the deal, I think he'd be willing to.
I think he retires.
You think?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, I don't know. Him sitting on 554 5 years from now is assuming a lot of health in the next 5 years that he hasn't had for the last 3.
I think the corner outfield move is helpful.
Right.
Let me put it this way. Okay. If he is, I think he's getting 500. I don't think that's an unrealistic thing to say by any stretch.
No. Yeah, I like him to get
105 home runs in the next 6 years.
Yeah.
I feel good about saying that.
Yeah.
If we're getting in the 550 territory, like that's where we're starting to sniff like top 10 all time for home runs as possible. 10th is 586.
That would be incredible. Like him getting that high, given the amount of time he's missed by now, would be incredible.
That'd be 191 over 6.5 years. Divided by 6.5. That's 29 a year. I can wrap my brain around that.
Here's the other thing. He has to play for the Angels if he plays past his current contract. If you're 38-year-old Mike Trout, Are you really moving somewhere to chase a higher career home run total?
I have one answer. Philly,
yeah.
I think personally, let's say he's a season away or a season and a half from like 600. I think Philly would be open to the idea of that.
It depends on whether he's a productive player. I mean, we have no idea what these teams are going to look like at this point. But it's like somebody would have to give him a contract to actually ride that out. And
I'm projecting Dombrowski plus the Harper contract. Harper will still be on the books in Philly when his Angels deal is up. So I think that Dombrowski combo plus that means
things. This entire saga ending with Trout and Harper playing on a roster together.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
What is Harper at for home runs? Can you imagine if they were both chasing 600 on the same team?
There's no chance.
What's Harper at for career bombs here? Harper's at 349 and he's 32. Mind you, Harper's under contract through 2031 as well. So he's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. He's got 6.5 years. And he's still hitting.
That would be the last. And he's still hitting really well, yeah.
He may be at about 550 as well by the end of his contract.
Maybe. I mean, the last time, he did 30 last year. And
yeah. I'm asking him to average from including this year for the rest of his contract, he'd have to average about 28 home runs a year. I don't think that's
28.
28.
It's possible. That's kind of asking a lot. I mean, the last 4
He's going to be
years.
I'm thinking about him being a first baseman too, and that being part of it too.
But I mean, if you prorate this year out and say that he's going to finish with 22, over the last 4 years, he's averaged like 23, 24. So for him to turn it up a notch for the next 6.
That's what I'm saying. We're creating a hypothetical where by the end of Harper's contract and the end of Trout's, they're both over 500.
Over 550.
Over 550 probably. They're both going to be around 550. That creates a really fun hypothetical where it's like, and Trout could go back to the Angels and do it, but I just have to imagine that like the Phillies are going to build around Harper the entire time he's under contract, so they're not going to be uncompetitive.
Yeah.
What stops the Phillies from going, we can have Harper at first and Trout at DH, and they could both chase 600. What happened?
Wait. The Dodgers had the bases loaded. They were down 2. It's 6-5 now. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom 9.
Hold on a minute.
Dalton Rushing just got on a throwing error to score the 5th run. But this brings up this brings up Mookie. No way. Honestly, not even a throwing error. Andrew Vaughn just booted the catch.
Abner Uribe, this guy could fucking walk me, bro.
Yeah. That's the other thing about the Brewers. This is their closer.
For now.
Yeah, but...
Fuck!
No! Ugh.
Why are you swinging at 1-0, dude?
Yeah. Especially against this guy.
Yo, he's low-key aging.
Mookie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was just a Reddit thread about this the other day. Are we, like, forgetting the fact that before this season he had some weird illness and lost 20 pounds? Like...
Yeah.
That's just hard to come back from.
It is nuts, though. Like, if he retires, like, he's in the Hall of Fame. Like, right now.
Yeah.
He's got 60 WAR. Like, the counting stats won't really be there, but MVP, rings on 3 rings, like, he's cemented.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think he's there. And, I mean, his peak is crazy. His 2018 season is insane.
He is the second. No, I'll say third. He is the third. If I had to power rank guys that were like for sure locks if they called it quits at the end of this year, Trout's 1. I might say Paul Goldschmidt's number 2.
This is just like position players.
Yes, I'm excluding pitching because if we do that, like that automatically makes
it's
it
a weird.
like,
yeah,
it's a race for 5th place if we start it with.
Yeah,
like to me, I think Goldschmidt Goldschmidt to me is going to define like what a modern first baseman needs to get in the Hall. Like he's got over 2,000 hits, he's got over 350 career home runs. I
actually think Aaron Judge is a Hall of Famer before Goldschmidt is.
Oh no.
Not
Judge
like time-wise.
Yeah, what?
Are you saying like who is more of a lock to be in?
Yeah, Judge would be a really interesting debate, I think. Because you got to think about like current. You think still now?
I mean, I'm looking. Judge is going to be ahead of Mookie in F4 by the end of this year.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe at the start of the year I wouldn't have said that, but yeah, maybe after this year, yeah, that's fair. At the start of the year I wouldn't have said that, but maybe this year, yeah, it's kind of
because he wasn't fully healthy in 2023, but other than that, since 2022, he will have eclipsed 11 F4 every single year.
I can't wait to troll Yankees fans when they say greatest right-handed hitter ever, and I'm like, oh, did he hit 700 career home runs? I don't think so, Tubster. Sit down. I don't give a fuck. I will say that. Just if you're 16 years old and your only memories of Albert Pujols are him being fat and bad on the Angels and then having the renaissance with the Cardinals, like, I'm sorry, dude, but that guy put up 30 DRS at first base and also OPS 1100 in his prime. Like, he is a god. And just because you weren't allowed to watch it happen, that's your own fault. That's your own fault.
did not know that Aaron Judge was older than Bryce Harper.
Yeah, bro. Like he's not like gonna sniff like career accolades that like the like very obvious you're in the hall stats other than 500 career home runs. Like I don't think he's gonna
Yeah,
have. I don't think he'll have 2,000 career hits.
yeah, but like, I don't know.
He might.
All, at the
I do
same
the math.
at the same time, I'll believe that he's falling off once I start seeing it.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, but yeah, I just think Goldie is gonna epitomize what like a modern Hall of Famer for a first baseman looks like. In the same
Yeah,
way that I think like Votto will too. Like, are you a first baseman that won MVP and also put up like about 60 WAR? Okay,
that's good. Yeah,
like that to me is like a very clear. That to me is a very easy benchmark because that means that like of current first baseman, you're talking about Goldie, Votto, Freeman, which I think is a no doubter. That will then the next generation, in theory, is probably Harper and Vlad. If you want to
yeah.
put them in the same generation of guys, I don't know if you
And if
can,
you
but
want to
like
call Harper a first baseman,
I think by the time his contract is done, it'll be pretty even. No,
yeah. But I mean, he definitely had his best. Well, I guess he had his best single season as an outfielder. But
true.
man, he really sandwiched that MVP year with a couple of years that were a lot more like run of the mill. I
Yes,
don't
he
know
did.
if I ever really thought about it that much. I mean, also him
Ooh,
being
actually, I don't know. He might he'll end up with more in the outfield than he will at first specifically. Interesting.
yeah.
He's gonna have a. He's not Stan Musial, but it'll be kind of like a Stan Musial split where like Musial also played. Yeah, I know, Peyton. He had 31 fucking DRS and didn't win the Gold Glove at first. Like
Who?
that's a real thing that happened. Albert Pujols had 31 DRS at first base and didn't win the Gold Glove that year.
Oh my god!
At first base, 31 DRS. I'll say that one more time.
What was Bro doing out there?
Like there's a like Rudy, the 2005 to
Well,
2009 stretch of Pools at first is insane.
okay, but if you're going by when you're looking at a guy's player page on Fangraphs and it gives you like offense, defense, WAR, what defensive stat is actually the basis of that calculation?
I have no clue.
Because by that, Pujols had exactly one good defensive season, and it was 2007.
Yeah, with that is the 30. That is a 31
Okay.
DRS year. You know what's
Okay.
crazy? Yeah, he had -1 the year after that, and he had 18 DRS at first base that year. So I don't know what the fuck.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah,
Because that's the only thing I'm going to say is that's when Gold Glove was still a reputation award, and he like I don't know. I guess just didn't have the.
But
reputation
here's
for
the
that.
thing: the whole reason that he played first base is because we had Scott Rowland.
Right.
Like he would have been a slightly above average defensive third baseman for probably the first 10 years of his career. He played first base because we had a fucking Hall of Fame top 10 third baseman ever at third. So like
I
there was
never knew
no
that.
room for him at third.
Never knew that.
Yeah, bro. If you look at his rookie year, like he played 300 innings at third. I mean, it was like 0 DRS, but like he played
Yeah.
kind of everywhere as a rookie because we still had Mark McGuire. And then the year that it was like, oh, maybe we'll put him at third, we traded. Plus, we had Placido Polanco at third, and then we traded him for Roland to the Phillies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very. But I find that insane. Yeah, that's also my biggest ammo in the in any sort of potential future Judge Pujols argument is 2003 Albert Pujols at first base had 9.5 F4. So first baseman with 9.5 F4, bro. You know what's even funnier is he had 9.5 F4 that year with only 5 DRS at first. Can you imagine how much F4 he would have had if he had thrown that 31 DRS year in the same year?
Yeah.
Insane, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a player. That's in my like YouTube rotation is his all of the home runs he hit in 2022. That's in my like YouTube rotation. There's a compilation of him hitting them. That was fairy tale, brother.
put up a counter for the number of times that Carson uses the word tailoring to talk about a team that's neither like full buying nor full selling.
That's a great word to use. I really enjoy using it. So yeah, I use it a lot.
It's at least 15 times. Tailoring, yes.
Yeah. I also enjoy a team that I need to come up with like a team that isn't going to fully sell, but is going to at least moderately sell. We should call that like tankering. That's what we should call that.
That's the Royals, whatever that is.
There's buying, thrifting, tailoring, tankering, and tanking.
Okay.
That's
this
I think
this feels like dynamic markings in music.
Hey, we have to find a way to first take everything that we do. So
yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna pull up this Nats roster resource real quick one more time. I know we talked about it too, but like Jesus, brother. Like
Jackson Rutledge, 6.80 ERA, 6.67 FIP.
He's getting unlucky.
True. That's 41 innings pitched.
Like their whole outfield.
He's
not
still
James
up.
Bond.
I guess he was up. Oh, bro.
But I just like the Nate Lau trade made. They're Nate Lau. It's Nate Lau. It's Brandon Lau, but Nate Lau. Yes.
Nate Lau. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea.
I know they're different. I don't know which is which.
He has stunk for the Nats, man. Absolutely stunk. I know he's got 15 homers, but he's got a total like.
Oh wow.
He's got 15 home runs in negative WAR, man. In a negative.
Yeah, I actually thought he was doing fine. Josh Bell has been pretty bad too. Although that's because they've been trying to play him at first base.
I don't know where that team goes.
Keibert Ruiz is not.
If I were the Nats, that's actually the like. Let's go get. They should be in the Cabrian Hayes sweepstakes. Like, just even if he's going to suck on offense, like let's just get a guy that we know can do something at every position.
Yeah, Ruiz they have signed until 2030. By the way.
Ugh. This goes back to my take that I've made on camera, and I'll continue it. Never, ever, ever, ever trade with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They've lost one prospect trade in like 10 fucking years, and it was O'Neal Cruz when he was outside their top 30. Same with Yordan. They were both outside the top 30 when they traded
I was going
to
say, you can't.
Those are the two. Would you even really call that a loss if they were outside the top 30? They were total lottery tickets that they happened to lose out on.
Yeah. I mean, okay. How do you read the Michael Busch trade then? Do you think that's like trading for a Dodgers prospect?
No, because great question. No, because the only reason that Michael Busch was in fucking AAA is because they spend so much money that he was throttled. He was a major league player sitting in AAA for no fucking reason. Like, that's my whole point with the Dodgers. It's like the reason all their prospects get so much juice is what you have to think about is because their major league roster is so loaded with big money, tangible starters. What does that mean? That means AAA is too clogged, which means AA is too clogged. You go down, you go down, you go down. It means all of these guys are probably playing at one level too low. You want a really good example? Pull up on Fangraphs. His name is Mike Sirota. Sirota. He was the main guy they got for Gavin Lux, by the way. Go look. He was a college outfielder from Northeastern. Go look at what he's doing at low A and high A right now. 22 years old. No business. He's got no fucking business being at high A right now. None.
That's insane.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. He's in the top 100. I like Mike Sirota. I think he's a good baseball player. But, like, this is what I'm talking about where the Dodgers will, like, flip a guy like this. And it's like, well, we don't fucking know how good this kid's actually going to be yet because he should not be at high A.
Yeah.
This dude was drafted he was a 3-year starter in college that, by the way, had a first-round grade on him, but then took like a step back like his junior year and then fell to the Reds. The Dodgers tried to draft this guy out of high school, by the way. So the moment they got him back, when they traded Gavin Lux, I was like, go fuck yourself. Like, I knew this guy was going to be good. And sure enough, bro. Sure enough.
Dude, what is the record of that high A ball team? They're running out him, Zaire Hope, and probably plenty of other guys who are...
Guys that shouldn't fucking
be
there.
a double A, yeah.
So then when the Dodgers get to go bargain bin shopping and their 20th best prospect is a dude our age at AA, and then when he sucks in the bigs, it's like, I'm not shocked, guys. I'm not shocked. It's something that I always think about with the Dodgers. Is like their minor league system is so bloated. It's not that they are bad at drafting and developing guys.
Well, is this a consequence of like partially of the minor league contraction? Like, did they just use like, I don't know, that happened a while ago at this point, but like presumably if they had more roster spots, I don't know. I guess you still have the same problem because there's no more spots at AAA than there used to be, or no fewer.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think. I think that there is. It's the same issue that I think. I don't know. And Tampa. It's like it's why Tampa prospects, whenever they get traded to another team, I'm like, I wouldn't fucking touch them with a 10-foot pole, because they don't do it for like, oh, we've got so many big money guys. They just don't want to spend money ever. So like they let guys sit in AAA, and I don't know. Dodgers are just one of those like buyer beware teams where I'm like, why would I do business with you when like by default I have to acquire a guy that's like, like your number 10 prospect. I don't know.
I mean, is this like, are they reaching an asymptote of how well an organization can be run?
That's like shameless glaze, but like low key, yes.
What I mean, not like, yeah, it is kind of shameless glaze, but really what I mean is like at a certain point, you're getting marginal returns as far as big league success, right?
Yes,
and then you're dedicated to
this year. This year
yes.
is what's happening.
They've
hit the limit. It's almost like racing. Like they've hit the RPM limit. They're throttling the engine at this point because there's only. Oh my God, owners would love to clip what I'm about to say. There's only so many big money guys you can have on a roster before I think you start to actually do yourself an organizational disservice.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not an organizational disservice in the sense that they're spending too much money. It's an organizational disservice in the sense that they have too many roster spots locked down.
Yes. They are so limited in their flexibility. And the other thing too is like, they've done it in a way that I think is way more precarious, which is through position players.
Yeah. Well, they're also like, there's a real harm that comes in being the default team that's willing to offer big money because you can't offload that.
Yep.
And this is something that like, it's actually really interesting that this is the position the Dodgers are in baseball wise, because like Todd Bowley, who is also now the sort of head of the ownership group for Chelsea, like Chelsea is doing exactly the opposite, where their current model is get players where they're young and you don't care as much about the transfer fee as you do about their wages, because if you're not paying them as much in salary, they're way easier to get rid of.
Correct.
Because you're not the like Barcelona who commits massive money to player contracts and then can't offload them anywhere. Except now Saudi Arabia is bailing all these teams out of these contracts, but can't offload them anywhere because nobody wants to pay them that salary.
And it's also interesting too, because I just think it's an issue that Dodgers are running into as well, where like from an organizational standpoint, and maybe I'm like projecting slightly, I'd be very curious. Maybe I'll ask my cousins because they both got drafted to organizations. Like, part of you is like, hey, I'm just happy that I got picked. But also at the same time, it's like, maybe I'm projecting slightly. If I got drafted in like the 11th round by Tampa, I'm like, oh shit. Like, what do they see? Like, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, holy fuck, like what's about to happen to me? Like, like they're about to tell me something that is, I think, like they probably like tangibly improve my career. And like,
depending on how, like, I don't know if I'm sure there are plenty of ball players out there that don't really read into it, but I think it'd be kind of funny from like the current perspective of you getting drafted by Tampa and you're like, yo, they see something, like they're going to change me as a player, versus you getting drafted by the Rockies and you're like, fuck, I'm all I'm ever going to be.
That's what I mean. Like, but I wonder what, like, is it, again, if we're talking like outside day one picks, you're just happy you got drafted, right?
Yeah.
But like, shit, man, if I got drafted by the Dodgers in like the first round, Like I'm going to be a millionaire either way. But it's like, fuck, I'm never going to play for this team. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
I mean,
traded to Milwaukee
okay.
in 3 years. Like,
At least if you're a first rounder, you're like you have like privileged status in their system,
yes, but I
as
just
opposed to like a former Reds third rounder who you got back for Gavin Lux.
yeah, that's what I mean. I just part of me is so like there has to be. I'm not suggesting there's like discontent within the org for these minor league guys, but like I'm sure Michael Busch was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he was pissed that they signed Freeman because, and I get Freeman's a Hall of Fame player and he's better than Michael. Well, actually, I don't know about this year, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, look, because Bush has actually been a dog.
Busch has been a
but
god.
he's still like a little too much of a platoon guy, like a little too much.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, it's
Yeah.
certainly, I think it would suck. If I were a Dodgers pitcher, especially.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no run. I feel like they so limit runway for their prospects.
Yeah, I mean, Bush has been the best hitting first baseman in the league this year.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm curious as to, I'm just very curious how certain guys within the org feel of just, it feels like every year with the Dodgers, like they went out and got Sasaki. That just immediately every pitching prospect just got put down one peg.
Yeah.
Every single
And
one.
Sasaki is not actually a guaranteed thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I am curious as to what being a minor league guy in certain systems is like.
I'm just trying to come full circle on your argument here.
Yeah.
The myth of the Dodgers prospect is a result of the fact that they ruin players by keeping them at like too low of a level for too long.
I think my argument with like the myth of the Dodgers prospect is because they have so many big money financial commitments. As a result, too many players that are MLB quality guys are left in the minors for too long, and the Dodgers then proceed to take advantage of teams selling at the deadline by saying, we'll give you our number 6, 7, and 12 prospect. But the reality is these guys have been left on the grill too long. They're a little too well done in the minors. And then they go to an org with less resources that is less equipped to help them develop. And then they struggle and as a result do not perform to the expectations that they had when they were I think the myth of the Dodgers prospect is they overprotect the asset.
Yeah.
They overly shield these prospects. And as a result, it negatively impacts their development and ability to succeed in the bigs.
Yeah.
And I think that when you look at the minor league guys they do call up, I'll bring it to my own ball club. A big issue the Cardinals had in the last 10 years, which is why they arrived at the situation they did, is they didn't give guys enough runway, where they didn't, like Randy Arozarena, didn't produce enough. So it was like, well, we can ship you out and get a pitching prospect that's top 100 and like Matthew Liberatore, which like, I'd argue is kind of like a wash now because he's like finally good and Arozarena's on a different team. But like, like that's still an L because that guy was a fucking all-star that you don't have on the team anymore. I think that the Dodgers do the same thing. Like, what's up? Like, how good? Like, what's James Outman up to right now? Like, I think that there's so many guys that because the spots are so limited, if you don't succeed immediately, you're just like you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then same with Michael Busch, he didn't succeed immediately, so as a result, he was gone.
Yeah.
And I'd be curious. I don't know if you're the Dodgers. If you ask the Dodgers front office, it may be cope. It may be sunk cost fallacy. I think they'd rather have Michael Busch right now.
Yeah.
And it's no Freeman slander, but one costs about $20 million less a year.
The other thing that I wonder if we'll see then is like if they try and push the envelope on how short and high AAV you can get contracts to be.
And defer it a bunch. That's exactly what I think they're going to do.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to
then they would have chosen to have right, because then they would have chosen to have Freddie Freeman until last year.
Yes.
And now this year you have Michael Busch.
They would have chosen to give Freeman what, like 4 for 200 or 4, you know what I mean? Like 4 for 160 or something insane like that. I think that we're going to start to see certain teams do that. I think there's about to be two schools of giving out player contracts, which is, I don't know. I also think in the next CBA, I think I think the players union is going to ask for a cap on the percentage of deferral for a
Yeah.
contract. There's going to be a percentage cap of a contract you can defer. I
can
think.
defer, yeah, because it totally tanks the present day value of a deal for the player.
Yes, I think that's a very pro player argument to say like guys should be paid what they're worth now in present dollar value.
Yeah, because like even with the Ohtani contract, the Cubs offered something like $500 million or something, and it was like, yeah, okay, he was never coming to Chicago. But then when you actually calculate like predicting inflation, whatever, the present day value of the Ohtani contract when he signed it was like $486 million or something, right? So it's like this is not actually a $700 million contract.
No, and if anything, it's the Lewis Hamilton signing with Ferrari argument, where like Ferrari as a company, the day Lewis Hamilton signed for them, their value as a company was estimated to have raised $1 billion.
Are you serious? That's crazy.
In one 24-hour period. He's the most like it's. I know that we're a largely American audience because we're a baseball company. Like he's the most famous athlete in the world, other than Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo, Messi, and like Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah,
like that's tier. Like so.
Yeah, you like can't overpay for that.
Correct. So the fact that it was announced that Lewis Hamilton was getting paid like $100 million a year by Ferrari, it doesn't matter. It's been paid off already. Yeah. And I'd argue the Ohtani contract it probably has or will be within 5 years. So like I think that, yeah, it just I think the players want everyone to spend more, not a few teams to spend a lot more. And so I think that they're going to create some sort of, hey, you can only defer a certain percentage of a deal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they'll break that down. They'll get someone to do the math for it, but I feel like that has to be the way going forward.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what every team will do is they'll just ask superstars to defer 90% of it.
Someday we'll forget. Before the Bobby Bonilla deal runs out, we're going to forget that July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day because everybody's going to get fucking deferral payments on July 1st.
That used to be a fucking joke that we shit on teams for. And like, you know, like, are we going to get to a point where we have Ohtani Day? I don't think we will.
No, because it's only 10 years.
There's going to be a day in 15 years where he's owed $68 million.
Yeah, we will still, yeah.
That may be an LOL.
Well, and the other unique thing about the Ohtani deal, like you're literally, I can't imagine you're ever going to see this again, but it could happen. They literally bought the entire market of Japan. Like just straight up, they bought the market.
Yes. I don't think it's replicable again because does a Dominican Ohtani exist where in theory you are buying the Dominican Republic market?
I think there's too many Dominican players.
That's what I mean. What you're essentially suggesting would have to happen again is there needs to be another country that has baseball as their national pastime, develop for decades their own league and players, get to a point where it's competitive enough where those guys can come play in major leagues. Like, I don't think we're seeing that in our lifetime.
No.
Like, I don't think Honkbal
Hoofdklaas. Yeah.
I don't think Honkbal Hoofdklaas is putting out like the Verstappen of baseball. Like, no. That'd be awesome.
And I mean,
did, but
that's also to say, like, there's only so many countries out there that are as big as Japan.
That's what I mean. You need to have a country that is big enough to do that, like, doesn't have a absolutely penciled in clear national sport. Like, and I think you just kind of run, like, if India gets really into baseball or China gets really into baseball, that's like what you could pencil in as like the maybes.
Then yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Like that is feasible to me because it's cricket for India already. So like I can see
the hop, skip, and a jump. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're they're like a first cousin. They're a first cousin sport away from.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's one of those things that like I don't think like you can. Like I think the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and Venezuela and like all these other countries that would have a shot at producing those guys, like you won't dominate the market.
Yeah.
Like Juan Soto and Vlad Jr. both exist.
Right. Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Like a Brazil,
Maybe.
maybe that'd be cool.
Yeah, like it's got to be something like that happening, which it could. That is the set of circumstances that would have to exist for a team to get that sort of financial investment back. That's why I'm almost like China, I think, is the answer. It would have to be China, which, oh my God, the rivalry would be awesome. Yeah. Otani, Japan, and then we have someone from China. Yeah, I think it's like China is probably your best bet of like, it'd have to be like a guy from northern China, because they're all big as fuck in northern China. That like is good enough as a prospect that like wants to play baseball.
Yeah.
I'll be intrigued to see. But I think my ultimate crux that argument with the Dodgers, it boils down to like it creates artificial value for their prospects.
Yeah. Okay.
And because they're the only team willing to take big money, or they seem like the most likely teams, I think naturally do business with a team that's willing to be more aggressive like that.
Yeah.